Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Knowledge with Homage. As you can see, coming at you live, man. Fucking video and shit. I learned how to do all this. Been setting it up, so give me a break here. I'm just learning how to do this shit. And it was a pain in the ass to set up, so hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear. My computer's going nuts. The fan is super loud, but hopefully it's not too bad. And check it out, I got my logo right here. Things are getting pretty serious, guys. I'm going full conspiracy mode here. Dude, gotta come out and speak. I know this ain't gonna help. Well, maybe it will help my music career. I know no record label's gonna fucking sign me doing this kind of shit, but fucking man, shit's too crazy right now. Gotta come out and say some stuff and give my take on things because that's what we're here to do, man. Silence is betrayal. So, by the way, check out my new music video. It's called Who Knew? You can see it on my YouTube channel, Homage TV. Like that shit, share that shit, and go to my website too, homagethelionkiller.com, and I got stuff there as well. So just getting straight into this right now, kind of talking about just the crazy shit that's going on right now. I went to the store, was it yesterday, day before yesterday, and it's like we're living in a science fiction movie, man. The fucking social distancing thing, there's signs everywhere, 6 feet apart, keep your social distance, you know, be safe, and all these little mind control words that are going on here. And it's crazy, man. Everyone's wearing their masks and stuff like that. And I'm not hating on anybody for trying to be safe, but it's just the mind control and the psychological operation that we're experiencing right now is just unprecedented. It is crazy, man. And it's on a global scale all across the world. And, you know, right where I live, and I'm sure it's happening to some extent where you live as well. And it's fucking crazy. So let's try to decipher what's going on and make some sense of it. Let me just show you some pictures of what's going on here. They got all these things on the ground, the fucking little stickers and shit, where, you know, everyone's got to stand in there. Look at how perfectly they're doing it. Aw, how nice. Good little sheep. Good job, guys. And it's nuts. So listen to how ridiculous this is. I went to Smith's. That's like my local grocery store. And so you can still use the shopping carts and shit. You can use those. Those are fine. But they took away the little dividers, like when you put your shit on the checkout counter. If they even have a checker there, most of the time they want you to do the self-checkout thing. They've been conditioning us to do that bullshit for years, but I hate that. I try not to do it. And so yeah, you could still use the grocery cart or the shopping cart, and that's fine. You know, how many germs are spread through that? They do give you those little wipes, so you have the option to do that. But then they took away the little divider things, like that divide your groceries once you put it on the checkout counter. It's like, what the fuck? Doesn't make any sense. And then they made it so you can only walk one way down the aisles and then like one way back. And it's all through the stickers on the ground, like this shit right here. And it's just so strange to see. I mean, I dislike the grocery store from before this because, I don't know, I feel like these are like centers of fucking where they like brainwash the public with little signs like this. Remember, social distancing, be safe, be safe. If you don't do this, you don't care about old people. Remember, guys. And if you don't support the nurses in the TikTok videos, you're a fucking asshole. A lot of people tell me that shit. Fuck you guys. But yeah, everyone's all dressed up like this. You know, they got all their masks and whatnot, and you know, that's even if you can get into the grocery store, because they can only allow so many people inside. You got to wait in a big line and shit for your chance to get your groceries. Now, on top of that, let me explain further the shit that pisses me off in the grocery store. Now, there was another thing, too. They have the little pin pad, you know, where you put your card in. Excuse me. And everyone can use that. That's fine. But you can't use the little dividers between the fucking your groceries and the other guy's groceries. You can't do that. But everyone's using the same fucking pin pad, you know, to put your debit card in or your credit card or whatever. Like, how does that make any sense? None of this stuff, it's just there's no logic to it. And on top of that, everyone's got to stock the fucking groceries when you get there. Or, you know, to get all the food there, you got a guy who puts all the shit on the shelves. So he's touching everything. And then maybe somebody wants an item and then they grab it and they fucking put it back because they decide, you know, they look at like what it has in it and they don't want it, so they put it back. Germs are spreading, so there's no way to win. And there's just no logic to it. Like, I don't understand what's trying to happen. Actually, I do understand. It's all mind control. It's like a fucking, just some crazy next level shit that we're experiencing right now. And it doesn't make any sense from a scientific standpoint or from a medical standpoint. And then I see this shit too. These people wearing these masks like everywhere when they're completely alone. Driving in the car alone, wearing a mask. What the fuck is that doing? Besides obstructing your breathing, which breathing is pretty important to staying alive. In case you guys didn't know that, you have to breathe. And when you're just breathing in like this, like that, like fucking something's obstructing your breath, it's not good for you. That's probably worse for your health than anything else. But yeah, you see these people, and to me, it's an indicator of how much they watch the news. You know, how brainwashed they are. They're driving in their car alone, but they're still wearing the mask, like a good little sheep. And people do the same shit walking down the street alone, and now it's like a fashion statement. People are doing like banned fucking masks. It's madness, absolute madness. And where I live, they've extended the social distancing regulations. I'm in Nevada, and yeah, they've extended it. Good old Steve Sisolak is our governor. He's a fucking piece of shit. And get what else he did. So the CEO of MGM, billionaire, fucking millionaire, billionaire. He's got a lot of fucking money. He's the CEO of like the biggest casino in the world, and it's a conglomerate of casinos. He appointed him as the coronavirus task force leader. Like, what the fuck does this guy know about handling a pandemic? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then people will say, well, he knows how to divvy up resources and get toilet paper into the casinos or something. And it's so ridiculous. They don't talk about how, oh, fuck, he's handling millions and millions of dollars. He's going to get paid out. And he stepped down from the CEO of MGM, where he's obviously making a shitload of money. But he knew beforehand that this was going to happen, just like all these other CEOs who stepped down in 2018, 2019. CEOs who stepped down recently. There's like thousands of them. And of course, you got Reuters. Partly false claim. Partly false. Dude, they did step down. There's like a bunch of them. List of CEOs who stepped down recently. Reddit. Don't know if that's a credible source, but yeah, check this out, dude. All these motherfuckers. And this is only 20, but there was like thousands. Fuck you, Reddit. Yeah, Bill Gates stepped down. The UPS guy, Disney, MasterCard, Salesforce, Uber Eats, Outdoor Voices, Consortium Cannabis. Ooh. The point is, there was like hundreds, dude, within the last year or two who just stepped down. They're making millions, billions, but they knew that the economy was going to go to shit because this is all planned. That's why I've been saying it's the plandemic. This shit is all planned, folks, and it's sad, but that's the way it's going. And, you know, just think about where'd they get all these stickers? You know, maybe did they have these fucking shits waiting? I don't know. Maybe that's a bad example, but it's crazy how quickly everybody's just falling into this, like lockstep. All the stores got all the supplies, and they have to do it, though, to even stay in business, or else the government will come lock you down. They'll have some idiot cop come fucking shut your fucking business down because you're not allowed to do normal stuff. You got to be scared, living in fear. And if you're not living in fear, you're an asshole and you don't care about old people. So that's what's been going on. That's my rant about the grocery store. Fuck, what a bummer. Now, where I think this is going, which they've talked about this, the people who control the world and are creating these agendas and policies for 10 years, 20 years, 50 years in advance. They like fucking do a little one step at a time. You know, you can't do it all at one time. It's like boiling a frog. If you put a fucking frog in boiling water, then it's going to jump out. But if you do it, you know, one bit at a time, put it in some cold water, fucking crank that shit up, get it boiling over a period of time, then you kill the frog and you cook it and you eat frog. Because there's people who do that, apparently. I don't know. But that's what they're doing to us. So they've realized it's the right time. They've prepped us with all these pandemic movies, like the Brad Pitt zombie movie. There's just so many zombie movies. There was like 20 a year for a while, and there's still a lot. And it's conditioned the public consciousness to accept all these things that are happening because everybody knows that it's a possibility because we've been trained through fiction, through predictive programming, and that's the way this system works. The Hollywood aspect of this is humongous. And you'll see it too in the commercials and stuff. You'll have celebrities coming out and telling you to social distance, stay home, be safe, we care about you. Yeah, sure you do. On another thing, Snapchat bought Will Smith. Apparently they just bought him. I don't know. He's on there every day doing some fucking stay-at-home fucking broadcast. I don't know. He had Dr. Fauci on there the other day talking about all this bullshit. Just crazy. But let's keep going. I'll read you an article now. This is from Activist Post. They put some good stuff up there. I also like The Last American Vagabond. And let me plug my homie Alan Watt real quick from cuttingthroughthematrix.com. Because this guy, dude, he's been exposing this truth. Look at that, man. Look at how he fucking karate kicks that fucking eye off of that pyramid. Props to Alan Watt. This guy's a vet and just been explaining this system in complete detail for fucking 30 years. And all these other, like, conspiracy researchers will go to this website and steal his shit because he's got so much good research up there. So I would highly encourage you to check out this man's work. He's brilliant and does a lot to explain this system that we live in. He's also got a podcast called Cutting Through the Matrix that you can find on all the podcast apps. And you can go here and see all of his previous work that he's done too, which is really, really good. And he's a good guitarist too, but I've never heard his guitar playing. Anyways, check out Alan Watt. He's a fucking boss. Now, going back to this thing here. Now, you guys might have seen these ranchers and these farmers talking about how they got to like throw away all their food because none of the restaurants are buying it because all the restaurants are closed. You're not allowed to sit down in a restaurant anymore. You're allowed to go into the restaurant and order your food and stand there until you get your food, but you can't sit down in the restaurant and eat the food. What the fuck? Just all these weird things that don't make any sense. And of course, they have the little barrier here, like fucking, like you're going to spit on them and attack them or some shit. I don't fucking know. But yeah, just another thing that doesn't make sense. So you got all these ranchers, big meat companies, and farmers and shit that are going to go out of business because a main source of their income and where they put their food was for the restaurant industry or maybe colleges and food courts and all these places that are shut down now that no longer are ordering this food. There's not a transportation network established to get it directly to the consumer, directly to the people. They had it going through these outlets like restaurants and shit like that. So now they literally can't move the food. And they got to like throw it away. So let's check this out. It says beef prices soar to record high as meat packing plants shutter. By Tyler Durden, dude, straight from Fight Club. Wholesale American beef prices jumped 6% to a record high of $330.82 per 100 pounds, a 62% increase from the lows in February, according to Bloomberg. Dude, I got to put my spectacles on. My fucking eyes are going. They fuck with my eyes, you know. The surge in beef prices comes at a time when the nation's food supply chain network has been severely damaged by meatpacking plants going offline due to virus-related shutdowns and worker shortage. Bloomberg highlights the latest plant closures in the map below. So big-ass meatpacking places like, dude, they've been trying to get us off meat for a long time, too. That's what, like, the whole vegan movement is. They don't want us to have protein because when you have the proper vitamins and shit, makes your brain grow. It makes you strong and able to think and do shit. They don't like that shit. They want you eating crickets and just doing all sorts of weird meat substitutes. And if you're a vegetarian or vegan, props to you. Do your thing. You know, you can still do your shit. But the point is, like, we should be able to eat animals if we want. You know, humans have been doing that for tens of thousands. Literally since the dawn of our genesis, we've been able to eat animals. And there's important vitamins. And the government shouldn't be the people telling us we can't eat that shit. And they know that they can't do that straight up. So what they're doing is using this pandemic as an excuse and fucking up the whole economy, fucking up all the small business, all this different shit. And then the food industry as well. Maybe they're trying to starve us. I wouldn't be surprised if they were. So meat plant closures, it says, soaring food inflation came one day after President Trump said he would be issuing an executive order to address meat shortages. Because of the virus, meat slaughtering is 40% below where it needs to be to handle all of the animals coming to market, said Arlen Sutterman, chief commodities economist at INTL FC Stone. Processing plants were generally in favor of the executive order that would give them liability cover when reopening. Yet the order still does not solve the problem of employee absenteeism. At least 20 workers in meat and food processing have died, and 5,000 have tested positive or forced to self-quarantine due to the coronavirus, according to the United Food and Commercial Workers International Union. Just days ago, Tyson Foods warned in a full-page ad in the New York Times on Sunday. You know how much that costs to get a full-page ad in the New York Times? Probably more than $20. That the food supply chain is breaking. Now, not like Tyson Foods is a fucking godsend or anything. All these big companies are fucked up, what they do to their chickens. Have you seen what Pamela Anderson talk about the chickens and shit? Was that Pam Anderson? One of those girls. Anyways, they're fucked up to these chickens. KFC is especially. But we should be able to eat chickens. You don't got to outlaw the chickens. And with tens of millions of Americans out of work, a crashed economy that is plunging into depression and rapid food inflation, this could all suggest that the evolution of the virus crisis is not just an economic crisis, but also social instabilities are ahead. Of course they are. This is what it's all about. It's all about changing society. And when you have a war, like what we're in right now, this is a war. That's what they're all saying and shit, right? It's a war against an invisible enemy. And, you know, our frontline fucking responders are the battling the war. They're not making TikTok videos or dancing around in empty hospitals or anything. They're a frontline an invisible enemy fucking war. Dude, it's all bullshit, man. It's all about changing society. And when you have a wartime scenario, you can do things like this, and you can push along your agenda so much faster than you could in times of peace, because people might push back. But when people are scared, when they're frightened, when they don't know what the fuck's going on, you can do whatever you want, and people will give away their rights. So that's the way it's going. Now, I'm sure you've heard. Am I still working? Oh yeah, dude, I'm looking crispy. What's up? So I'm sure you've heard about like the nanobot thing. Maybe you haven't. You probably don't know the extent of the nanobot shit that's going on. And, you know, a lot, honestly, dude, I don't even talk about it with many people because it's so far beyond people's perception of logic. Like they don't understand what's happening, and I don't think it goes above their heads. But they've been spraying nanobots and nanotechnology in the chemtrails for years. And Clifford Carnicom from the Carnicom Institute has documented this. He studied these nanobots. He calls it a cross-domain bacteria because it has properties of like a plant, a fungus, an animal, a protozoa or whatever. It's just all different domains of life this nanotechnology exhibits. And it was created in a lab, probably multiple labs. They got people working on this shit fucking all the time. So nanobots is nothing new. And people have been targeted with nanobots. And basically what it does, they're like little computers. And they can fucking like send and receive signals. So if you fill somebody's body with nanotechnology, it's like a little antenna inside of them. And through electromagnetic waves, scalar waves, different types of electromagnetic wavelengths, you can manipulate these things. And you can fuck with their brains too. Like it could be used for mind control. 100%, dude. You could go back to the history of mind control. People like Jose Delgado, who worked for one of the big universities, and this was in like the 40s, I think like the 50s actually, and he did a famous experiment with a bull where he put these electrodes into this bull, like these little transmitters into his brain, and he stood there and then had the bull fucking charge at him, and then he pressed a little button and sent an electronic signal to the bull's brain, and then the bull just stopped right there. And that was like his most famous experiment. And of course they didn't care about mind controlling bulls. It was never about that. It's all about the human mind. And so much of your own tax money goes to these universities and these scientists and these government fucking agencies specifically to control your mind, because that's what it's all about. In fact, the word government comes from two Latin roots, guvernare and mente, guvernare meaning to control and mente meaning the mind. So that's what government's all about. And this nanotechnology, which very well could be included in the vaccines, Bill Gates has already talked about how he wants to do that shit. And it's a fact, dude. Like the nanotechnology is the new frontier of science. And it's insane. So check this out. This talks about an infographic. This is from Robotics Business Review. Infographic: nanobots and nanotech deliver medicine's future. Now, yeah, it can be used for medicine, but you know what else it could be used for? You know what it's probably really about? Controlling your fucking brain. Because they can program these little motherfuckers to attach to specific parts of the body, specific parts of the brain, activate different neurons, fucking activate chemical reactions and different shit like that. That all affects your thinking. And you could literally like put thoughts in someone's head and make them do different shit, make them freak the fuck out, like whatever. Or you could track them. Keep tabs on everything they're doing. And this is where this is heading. And Microsoft just patented something, which we will look at as well. But let's read this article real quick if it's not too fucking long. And this is all shit I just looked up in the past like 5 minutes before I started this because I wanted to have something to show you guys. It's my first broadcast like this. So it says, an overview of the latest nanobot and nanotechnology advances driving innovations in healthcare and medicine, including new challenges. Now, when they say this is the latest nanobot and nanotechnology, that's a lie, because this is like a public information thing. What they're doing in organizations like DARPA, which is a branch of the Pentagon, it's the research agency of the Pentagon, it's way beyond anything they'll ever tell the public. And they got all these secret bases, literally underground bases and shit where they're doing research and development, and they're on some next level shit. So this is just what's in the public domain. Imagine what they have behind closed doors that they're fucking working on. So this is a little illustration of what they're going to do. They're like little fucking rocket ships attaching to your blood cells or something. It's nuts, dude. If you can't beat them, join them. We're alive in the climax of the digital revolution, and even medicine has found its way in benefiting from recent technology advancements with nanotechnology. This field includes ingestible smart pill capsules, oh, that's great, nanobots capable of performing human surgeries, and smart microscopes, bandages, and vaccines. Astonishingly enough, by 2024, the global nanotech market is expected to reach $125 billion, while the global smart pill market is to reach $650 million in the following year. So the smart pill, they want you to take these pills, have the little fucking robots in you, and then you know what it's going to go to? Wait, I'm going to get to that. We'll read this article first. I'm getting ahead of myself. Smart pills began making noise in 2001 when PillCam was the first ingestible camera to be approved by the FDA. By 2008, PillCams were used in more than 2 million medical procedures. There are also dose tracking pills, although this raises some ethical questions, that include sensors logging patient data to a corresponding app. Exactly, that's what it's all about. This shit's gonna fucking be linked up to your social credit score and your digital currency that they want to force everybody to have. And eventually it's gonna be like, oh, you went to this place, or you didn't do your exercise today, or you didn't fucking watch your 5 minutes of propaganda, and then you don't like get your food or whatever, your rations. I don't know. The Vibrant capsule takes on a more hands-on approach, promoting muscle contractions to jumpstart digestion. So it's pretty insane where technology is. The list goes on, you know. As previously mentioned, researchers around the world are developing skilled nanobots that can perform a wide range of surgeries on humans. They will be programmed and guided with external magnetic fields. Nanobots can perform eye surgeries with needles, clear blocked arteries by drilling a corkscrew through arterial blockages, and collect biopsies. Now, dude, I don't really talk about this shit either, but you guys might have heard my talk on when I went to New York City, and then I fucking hung out with these guys who were like apparently friends with the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds, and then ever since then, I've had some fucked up eyes. I've had all these floaters in my eyes. Weird shit, dude. And I've been to different doctors. I've been to an ophthalmologist, a retina specialist, and then when I get there, I'm the only motherfucker who's under the age of 90, so you know something's fucked up, and they have nothing they could do about it. They don't know what the fuck's going on. Honestly, dude, I think they fucked with me and put some like nanobots in me that attack my eyes, and it never made sense to me because it's like, oh, well, if they don't like me, why don't they just kill me? And I think this is because of my digital clouds video, but yeah, it's like, why would they do that? Just attack my eyes? They could just shoot me or something. But it's like a symbolic gesture because that's what these motherfuckers do. They're all symbolic and shit, you know? And they like to, it's like a big joke or whatever. But there was this Elizabethan era playwright, which, fuck, I forget his name. But they did the same shit to him because he was like exposing John D and Queen Elizabeth for doing some weird witchcraft shit and just all the fucked up shit they were doing. And then they stabbed him in the eye to kill him because they blind the eye of he who sees too much. So something to think about. Who the fuck knows? I'll never know. I just know my eyes are fucked up. But I got cool glasses, so it's cool. The list goes on. Oh, the list goes, I think it said, oh, the list, yeah, they fucked up right here. I hate when they do that. Man, they got someone editing this shit. The list of available nanotechnology goes on, as does medical and technological advancement. Scroll down and read about the challenges for the future of nanotech, smart badges, vaccines, and microscopes. And then you have this infographic. Is nanotechnology the future of medicine? It's the future of mind control is what it is. I do not advise anyone to take voluntarily take any nanotechnology inside of their body. I just don't. It's not a good idea. But they might force it on you through the fucking vaccines. The point is they have this technology. And they're talking about doing this shit, like putting it in everyone and tracking them and monitoring them. This is the hugest invasion of privacy. It's literally like the mark of the beast from the Bible. And it's something you should be concerned about. And everyone's so gung-ho, like, oh, we need a vaccine, Nah, bro, like, you don't want this shit. So it says, yeah, it talks about whatever they just said. So this is like the pill cam. In 2001, the first ingestible pill camera became approved by the FDA. In 2008, pill cams have been used in more than 2 million procedures. That's kind of nuts. Vibrant capsules. Vibrating capsules promote muscle contractions to jumpstart digestion. Effectively treats constipation without laxatives or any major side effects. Yeah, just take this little robot pill and then you could shit. Dose tracking pills. These ones are sketch, bro. Each pill contains a sensor which relays data through a patch worn by the patient. App tracks drug dosage and time. Log can be shared with doctors and others. Ooh, like the fucking government, you know? How about that? The cops? Where were you at this time? Your fucking pill says you were where the crime was committed. See, this is where it's going, dude. Maximum tracking, maximum control. And most people, like, some people don't understand, like, why would they want to do that? Why would they want to control everything? They just fucking do. They're assholes. I don't know. We're not like them. They're not like us, dude. They're, like, on some other shit, dude. They're fucking weird. And then, dude, so it's just talking about all the different types of like, smart nanotechnology. And this is on such a small scale. And, cancer fighting deity. So they're acting like it's a positive thing, which it very well can be. And that's how much of this technology is done. See, in the research phase, they compartmentalize everything. And they make it so, like, you might not even know, if you're a scientist working on this shit, you might not know what it's going to be used for. You might be misled and said it's going to be used for, you know, performing eye surgeries or clearing blocked arteries or collecting biopsies, all these positive things. But then you got like DARPA or the military, some branch of some military, which comes and they weaponize it and they use it against the people. And that's how shit's been going like forever with this kind of shit. So it's nuts, man. It's something to be concerned about. And I think, whoa, smart. I thought this was toilet paper. Smart toilet paper. No. Bioabsorbable bandages made from hydrogel can be left on until they dissolve. I'm pretty sure they have that in the military. I've like seen something about that. It's amazing. I mean, it's nuts. It's cool, like, that we have this stuff, but we need to draw the line somewhere and stand up for our own privacy. You got to realize that for thousands of years, people had no privacy. Like the kings, the pharaoh, whatever the fuck was, whoever was controlling shit, they could just walk into your crib, steal all your shit, like fuck your bitch, and then bounce. And then you couldn't do shit because you had no power. It took a lot of people dying, a lot of wars, a lot of very brave people to gain the little amount of rights that we have. And that's why it's important to speak out about this shit. Do you know how many people fucking died for us to be like, have the little amounts of rights that we have right now? And you're just going to throw it all away because you're afraid of some fucking virus? Nah, bro, that's not what it's about, man. So, anyways, the nanotechnology, and then let's go to what Microsoft recently patented, and it's a patent for crypto mining system using body activity data. Basically, what this is. Well, let's just read it. It says Microsoft files crypto-based patent which would enable individuals to mine crypto using body activity data. Tech giant Microsoft is looking to develop a cryptocurrency system which enables individuals to mine cryptocurrency using their body activity data, eliminating the need for specialized mining machines. Microsoft published a patent dubbed Cryptocurrency System Using Body Activity Data on March 26. Their paperwork details a method of crypto mining which exploits data associated with the user's body activity to exercise a new form of proof of work. The document further details, for example, a brainwave or body heat emitted from the user when the user performs the task provided by an information or service provider, such as viewing advertisement or using certain internet services, can be used in the mining process. So basically, you're going to have these like robots inside of you that are monitoring your blood flow, your brain synapses, your fucking heart rate, like everything. And then it's going to be connected to like your currency, to your money. See, they're going to do away with cash. That's what part of this this fucking whole pandemic thing is too. They're saying that like cash passes on the disease, so we got to get rid of cash. Well, you know what else cash does? It makes it so waiters and waitresses and shit can kind of lie on their taxes, keep your tip money, and you don't gotta like sign for that shit or pay taxes on it. You can sell weed, you can sell drugs on the side, do your shit, pad your income a little bit, do what you gotta do. I ain't hating, but it's anonymity is what cash is. But they've been trying to do away with that for a long time because they want to control everything. They want to control everything, and if you got to control all the money too, because you can control how much money you give someone, and then you can make it so like, if you do something wrong, if you're bad in the eyes of Big Brother, they cut off your money. They cut off your food. You're fucked. And they're already doing this in China with the social credit score shit. This is all where it's going, and these are all different. They use different parts of the world to experiment with different shit. So you can read more about this patent on here. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it has to do with the cryptocurrency and kind of shit like Bitcoin. People have been trained to think like shit like Bitcoin is like a good thing, which it can be if you bought into that shit early. You'd be rich as fuck right now. But the thing is, it's like gonna be used for some fucked up shit. Just a strictly digital currency is not good because it's gonna be like so controlled. And you notice I've said the word control a lot, but that's what this whole shit is all about. So, pretty nuts, right? I'm hoping my camera doesn't die because I'm running off my battery. I ordered like a like a battery you can plug into the wall, but it was the wrong one. Fucking dicks. Anyways, so that's that. Yeah, the smart vaccine. That's great, isn't it? And then, of course, this is all coming along all at the same time. Bill Gates, who was part of the Johns Hopkins World Economic Health Forum, was that what it was? Or World Health Organization? I think it was the WHO. But they simulated this whole event, Event 201. Then boom, it fucking happens. Exactly what they said was going to happen. And then you got to look at the correlations between what happened in 2001 with the anthrax scare, with Crimson Contagion, with Dark Winter. Whitney Webb and Ryan Christian at thelastamericanvagabond.com have done incredible research with regards to this. I highly recommend you go to this website too. These motherfuckers are coming up with some real shit, man. Shout outs to Whitney Webb and Ryan Christian. Doing really good research on some real world shit. So highly recommend that you check this out and look at not only like the false flag type of shit where they plan this whole event and then it actually happened, but also the companies who were involved in creating the vaccine, because the same company who created the anthrax vaccine after the anthrax scare, or like actually more like monopolized it and made it so nobody else could make it because there was only one FDA approved fucking formula or whatever, they're the same ones making the coronavirus vaccine. It's the usual suspects, dude. And there's a revolving door between the government, big pharmaceutical companies, and they just fucking work with each other. And it's all a big scam, dude. And they make billions and millions of dollars, and then they further this agenda for what they want to do. That's the way the world works, guys. And you guys, there's so many dumb motherfuckers out there who are like, oh, they just want to keep you safe, man, or something. It's like, dude, do some fucking research, man, and realize what's happening. It's so much bigger than that. And that's why I come out with shit like this, dude. Like, this ain't going to get me signed by some fucking label. You think Sony is going to come fucking sign me? doing some shit like this? Fuck no, bro. But it's important. It's the truth, and that's what I'm about, man. I'm a real motherfucker. So, this is a little article. Oh, dude, James Corbett, what up? I recommend his site too, CorbettReport.com. He's brilliant, dude. James Corbett keeps it real. This is talking about the Royal Institute for International Affairs. So a lot of the time when you're trying to explain this type of information to people, they're like, but who's doing it? Who is they? And they always say that shit. And then this is they, the Royal Institute for International Affairs. It's a big conglomerate of different rich-ass motherfuckers, and they've been doing this shit for like 100 years. And then they created the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, all these big non-governmental organizations that have literally molded the world. They created like both the world wars, fucking everything, dude. They got their hands in everything. And then they plot shit out over 10, 20, 50 years, 100 years. And the ultimate goal is like one world government, complete control over everyone, depopulation, and replacing everyone with fucking robots. Hate to say it, but that's like where it's going, dude. It's the truth. So, let me drink some water. I'm talking a lot, man. I'm getting worked up over here. Conspiracy host. What up? Okay, so it says the truth about the Royal Institute for International Affairs. Readers of this column will know all about the Council on Foreign Relations by now. The CFR's influence in setting Washington's foreign policy agenda was once derided as conspiracy theory, but as is often the case, the conspiracy theory is now a simple truism that is openly joked about by the conspirators themselves. So I wish I could play this video for you, but like I don't know how to make it work. It'll just be black. Chatham House video talking about fake news and how to identify it. It says, what you may not know, however, is that the CFR is in fact a branch of a slightly older, slightly less known organization, the Royal Institute for International Affairs. The idea for the group was hammered out at an informal session during the 1919 Paris Peace Conference. The institute was formalized the next year, first as the British Institute of International Affairs, and then, after receiving its royal charter, as the Royal Institute of International Affairs. And there's like an official historian of these guys, because they write about it, and they talk about what they're doing, and they even brag about it. They're like proud of it and shit. And they know nobody will care, because they know they've brainwashed everyone so effectively that they don't research this kind of shit. His name is Carol Quigley. And he's written a couple different books, The Anglo-American Establishment, and there's some other ones too. But he talks about everything they did, and they brag about it and shit. And these are the people who control everything, dude. In the years since its inception, the Royal Institute for International Affairs has opened branches in countries across the British Commonwealth and around the world, including the Council on Foreign Relations, born largely from the same 1919 Paris meeting that birthed the Institute itself, the Australian Institute of International Affairs, the South African Institute of International Affairs, Pakistan Institute of International Affairs, and Canadian International Council. Officially, the Royal Institute of International Affairs, like its various branches, is a non-profit, non-governmental think tank. See, think tank, that's what they all are. They call themselves think tanks. That's why they all involve people from fucking high-level media positions, universities, politicians, everybody. They control all these motherfuckers. That's why they're all on board with the same agenda. Kind of crazy, right? They're a think tank that promotes analysis of international issues and world affairs in topics such as energy, environment and resources, international economics, international security, and international law. Also, like its branch organizations, the majority of the group's publications and proceedings are open to the public and freely available via their website or their journal. Of course, that's free as in speech, not free as in pizza. You'll need an Oxford academic account if you want to access the International Affairs online to read hot takes like World Politics 100 Years After the Paris Peace Conference by David Lloyd George's great-granddaughter and former Rhodes trustee, Margaret Macmillan. And it says, the organization is funded by partners, patrons, and a list of corporate members that read like a who's who of the corporatocracy, like Chevron, AIG, Bloomberg, Toshiba, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, Lockheed Martin, Royal Dutch Shell, ExxonMobil, and dozens of other corporations, institutions, and foreign governments. And I think originally they were funded by like the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds, like all these other motherfuckers are. But the point is that all this stuff like that's happening, it's planned out in advance by very smart people, very smart, ambitious people with an agenda. And there's thousands of different people in these think tanks that are privately funded. You don't get to vote for any of them that plan out this policy, and they create the world that we live in. And they literally like control our minds to believe whatever the fuck it is that people believe. And it's nuts. And I'm not going to read this whole article, but I'll put the links in the show notes if you want to learn more about this. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, I encourage you to look into it. And just to get some background on the types of motherfuckers who were controlled by, it's these type of motherfuckers. This is Bohemian Grove. And if you don't know about Bohemian Grove, then look it up. It's fucked up. This is an owl. I think it's Marduk is who it called. It's like an ancient fucking Babylonian god or Sumerian or some shit. It's a big owl. And they sacrifice shit to the owl. And they wear robes, because that's normal, right? And these are like our presidents and big fucking, people in corporations and shit. And it's an all-male thing, and it costs like $1 million to even apply to go there. They do a bunch of gay shit. No offense to anybody who's gay. Do whatever you want. But it's like, it's a big fraternity where they're doing some weird fucking shit, man. Sacrificing people to a fucking owl? Like, bruh, the fuck? But they really do it. And they dress up in the fucking robes and shit. And there's other organizations that are like this too. There's the Skull and Bones shit. There's, Skull and Bones, where John Kerry was in Skull and Bones. And so was George Bush, the two candidates for president in 2004, I think it was. That's not suspicious? What the fuck? So this is how the world is controlled. It's by guys who have these little fucking, they're all in the club, man. It's a big club and you ain't fucking in it. Alex Jones did a documentary. He like snuck in here and filmed him and shit. So they don't like him very much. But yeah, that's what they do. They just do weird shit, man. They're into weird shit. They're on a whole nother level with what they believe, and it's fucked up. And then, of course, maybe you guys are familiar with this. I hope you are. It's called the Georgia Guidestones. And this is something that they've done. This is their plan for society. They want to, maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Well, there's like 7 billion people in the world, so what happens to the rest of us? Huh? I don't know. What do you think? Look how big this shit is, dude. You think they just, some crazy conspiracy theorists slapped this motherfucker up there? Nah, man, that took some serious architecture. Oh, no. Am I still going? Something got fucked up. Oh, I fucking hit my little, I hit the USB. I think I'm still good. Anyways, yeah, you can see in comparison to this lovely lady and her boyfriend, or maybe it's her brother, I don't know. But that shit's fat, dude. Like, it's a big granite rock with some inscriptions on it. It's in all different languages, and it's talking about how they want to murder everyone. Like, dude, that's kind of concerning. But these are the people who control the world. There's so much I want to get into, but so little time. I don't know if my battery's going to die. And just to remind you, if you think Donald Trump's going to change shit, if you believe in this left-right dichotomy, you're tripping. It's not. It's so much bigger than that. Left wing, right wing, same fucking bird. So, and this is just an example of how Donald Trump is homies with Epstein. And if you were to read Whitney Webb from The Last American Vagabond, she did an interview with one of Epstein's like first victims, the first one to come out, and she named Donald Trump, she named Bill Gates, she named all these motherfuckers, and they're all homies, dude. They're pedophiles. That's the way they fucking control them, is they get them to like fuck kids and they film them or whatever, and then they say, I'm gonna release this if you don't do what I say. It's a way of controlling people. Bill Gates is homies with Epstein too. Just normal shit. Biggest pedophile ever. Epstein didn't kill himself, by the way. Anyways, let's see. Oh, yeah, and I just want to let you know, like, dude, these big companies like Microsoft, Apple, they're all big brother. Tesla, SpaceX, they have these front men of these corporations that they put out there, and they say, oh, it was created in the garage. Somebody is just in their garage tinkering, and then they create the biggest company in the fucking world that controls everything, all your data, all your information. It's a revolving door between the government and these intelligence agencies. Amazon's another one of these things. And they say, oh, it's just some guy. He's a real go-getter. He's real fucking smart. He stayed in that garage a long time. And they all look nerdy as fuck, like Bill Gates, and they're all weird and shit. But they're the front men of these corporations, and they're actually like It's all Big Brother, dude. It's fucking, hate to come out and say it, but the internet was literally created by DARPA, which is the branch of the Pentagon, the research agency of the Pentagon, and it's a weapon, dude. They want to get us all in the net. That's why it's called the net or the web, because they're got to catch us all, and then they have all our information, then we're fucked. And then I just want to let you know that the first Apple computer was sold for $666. You can't make this shit up, folks. And another thing with this this patent, fuck, I wish I had it. It's like patent 666. It's 2020-666. There's little zeros in it, but it's literally 2020-666, this Microsoft patent. And that's what they do, you know, because it's all a big fucking joke. And it's nuts, dude. Like, it's so in your face. 9/11, for example. 911, emergency. Like, what the fuck, dude? It's pretty nuts. And there's so many things. I was just typed in random shit that I thought people should know about. Directed energy weapons is a thing too. In my opinion, that's how they destroyed the World Trade Center. Dr. Judy Wood wrote a book called Where Did the Towers Go?, which goes over in exhausting detail. It's like a textbook of how the most likely scenario for how these buildings got destroyed was through some sort of weaponized free energy, directed energy weapon technology, based off of the work of Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla, of course, the scientist, he was like a contemporary of Edison, created AC, alternating current electricity. He also created a way to supply the whole world with free energy. So this whole concept of fossil fuels and different shit like that, like the scarcity and how we're destroying the planet with fossil fuels, and that's why we need to do all these climate change regulations and all that. We're destroying the planet, right? Well, dude, you could run the whole planet with free energy, literally extracted from the ether. It's in like inexhaustible amounts. It's everywhere. It's infinite. And Nikola Tesla discovered a way to extract that energy and use it to wirelessly power the whole entire world. And then you got Elon Musk, fucking douchebag ass, who like steals the name Tesla and doesn't do anything along those lines. Doesn't even speak about it. But this is how the system works, dude. It's all mind control and shit. It's all fucking with people's perceptions and stuff. So I don't know, man. But directed energy weapons, they got that shit. And this links up with 5G as well, because 5G is not just like the next level up from 4G. It's not like a consecutive thing like 4G, 5G, whatever. It's a completely different type of technology, and the wavelengths on which it operates on is very close to like these crowd control weapons that can make it feel like your skin is melting and fuck with your brain and do all kinds of shit. And they're putting these installations everywhere. It's nuts, dude. And then I'm jumping all over the place, but this is my first video, man. I'm new. Let's talk about chemtrails. One of my favorite topics that I've pissed a lot of people off with. This is byebyebluesky.com. They come out with some real shit, so props to them. I would highly recommend checking out their website. And it just talks about like what the fuck's going on in the skies, dude. It's insane. So this is Nick Begich, who wrote a book about mind control and the technology behind it. He also talked about HAARP and that technology to control the weather. This is HAARP right here. It's a facility in Gakona, Alaska, that is used to shoot up electromagnetic waves into the ionosphere and then bounce them off and manipulate the ionosphere, which is a layer of the atmosphere that you can manipulate storm systems that way. Now, this was like a research facility. Now, the next level shit, they got all these things too with this big like bulb type thing, and it's like the same basic concept. Is using electromagnetic waves or scalar waves to manipulate storm systems. And in order to do that, they have to have an ionized atmosphere, which means electrically charged. So that's what these chemtrails do. They are electrically charged particles that are inserted into the atmosphere, and then it creates like a big fucking circuit board or something. So it allows these particles to be manipulated by electromagnetic waves, so you can steer storm systems, you can create droughts, you can even create volcanic eruptions and earthquakes and tsunamis and all this different type of stuff. And this goes back to Nikola Tesla's findings as well. It was all taken over by the government, all his notes and stuff. He was working with the government too. So this is what's happening. And you'll notice that even though 90% of travel has been stopped and most planes aren't even flying, there's still chemtrails. There's still fucking planes flying around. Yesterday, the sky was covered in them. What is it going to take, dude, for some people to fucking realize what's going on, man? The weather's controlled. It's part of a malevolent goal. But they got us all believing in whatever they're told. Whatever we're told. I don't know. I forget the lyrics. Anyways, you got Elena Freeland, who was a great researcher. She wrote the book Chemtrails, HAARP, and the Full Spectrum Dominance of Planet Earth. That's largely what I based my song Digital Clouds on, my research I did through that book. It's right here. I'd highly recommend that you read it and understand it. This is the sequel to that book. It's called Under an Ionized Sky, From Chemtrails to Space Fence Lockdown. And this is kind of, what's happening right now. At first, she addressed chemtrails and like what they're actually for and the different stuff about the nanotechnology, this thing called Morgellons, all that different shit, and how they control the weather and just how it all works. It's all facts, dude. There's like released shit that talks about it, you know what I'm saying? And you can find it all out. The information's out there, and she's done all her research. It's all her stuff is cited, the different links and the sources and whatnot. So you can find that there and read her other book, Under an Ionized Sky, if you're interested. Most people aren't. Most people don't give a fuck. So I think that's Suzanne Meyer. She's a homie. I think she runs the site, and she's been putting up these billboards. Props to her, dude. Trying to wake people up, These things are on some next level shit. Fuck these things, dude. These are your cell phone towers, your 5G towers, your mind control towers. Who the fuck knows what they're really used for? But you got to understand that the wavelengths on which these things can operate on are very close to the wavelengths that your brain operates on, because every different chemical synapse and every chemical exchange and every thought has a corresponding electromagnetic wavelength. And when you fucking like synchronize with that, when you introduce the same wavelength, you can create the reactions in your head. And that's how you control the mind, through electromagnetic wavelengths, through fucking, it's mind control, dude. So the point is that the technology exists. Whether or not they use it for it all the time, who the fuck knows? I don't know. But they certainly, the technology exists and is there, and we're seeing these things pop up more and more every day. More and more. And just, it doesn't matter who's president, it doesn't matter who's elected. Big Brother is there, man. He's putting up new shit every fucking day. These new cell phone towers. You'll notice on all the fucking stoplights, there's a camera pointing right at you. What's up with that shit? Cameras everywhere. Every new car after 2018 has to have a camera. Think about this stuff, man. It's so much bigger than the left-right dichotomy. Donald Trump ain't gonna do shit. He's all part of it. He's just the guy in front who you get to like throw fucking tomatoes at and shit. And this talks about how it's the trinary attack. So you have the chemtrails that are all in our bodies, filling us up with the nanobots, with the heavy metals. You have this shitty GMO food, which is just full of all kinds of suspicious shit, like bad shit, man. Just fucking with your body too. And then you activate it with these electromagnetic waves that go from the cell phone towers, 5G installations, whatever you may have. So some heavy shit, right? It's crazy, dude. And this is kind of just, a brief overview of some of the crazy shit going on. There's so much, dude. And it's about time somebody talked about it. So that's what I'm here for, man. Going full conspiracy mode here in my extra room with no job. Fucking talking about fuck the government. So, this is my room. Used to be Matt's room, my old roommate. Jennifer lives here, my cousin. It goes around. But now I get to make my conspiracy videos. Anyways, if you're listening to this on just the podcast app, it might sound a little weird. You might want to go check out the YouTube. If that's assuming that they don't take my shit down, which they probably will. Fuck them. Fuck YouTube. And yeah, that's that. We'll end on that. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully this worked. So like I said, this is my first video, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to do this shit, but I'll probably do more, honestly. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks a lot for watching. Peace out.